Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Respect the Geekdom presents Geeky Philosophies. I'm your host Quan, and today we're going to be finishing up the good side of the D&D alignment with the chaotic good. So as I always dive into these, I kind of mostly focus on what makes this good different from neutral good or from lawful good. So that's what we're going to go into. Here we go. With chaotic good, it acts as its conscience directs it to with little regard for what others expect of it. It believes in good and right, but has little use for laws and regulations. That's one of the things. Hates when people try to intimidate others and tells them what to do. So pretty much out of all the ones that's probably going to jump in and say like I don't like bullies, this will probably be the first one to jump in right after neutral good and then lawful good. It follows its own moral compass, which can be good but may not agree with society. So in some cases, this could be alongside with neutral good with its vigilantism. I actually view this one as more of the rebel with a cause. Pretty much a good heart with a free spirit. This is one of the things that's defining traits with chaotic good. It's dangerous when it disrupts order of society and punishes those who do well for themselves. So, kind of rebel stuff when a rebel kind of gets a little bit way out of hand, way out of on the chaotic side. It views freedom and randomness of actions as truths. So this kind of goes into the next MTG color that I'll be talking about soon, but it kind of has similar instances instances of that. So pretty much chaotic good can be that color mixed with that color. They place value on life and the welfare of each individual, just like the color I'll be getting into next time. It cares a lot about individuality and the freedom of stuff. So it hates anything, mostly laws, but hates anything that restricts individual freedom. So it just dislikes it. Anything that says you have to follow this strict code to be accepted, he doesn't like that at all. And it believes each person is capable of achieving self realization and prosperity through themselves. So it believes everyone has the opportunity, the ability to rise up to the highest ranks. Pretty much, besides it being a good heart with a free spirit, is also a strong individualist marked by kindness and benevolence, and believes in all of the virtues of good and right. So it believes in doing your own thing as long as it doesn't harm anybody else in the worst of ways. Which, like I said, has a lot of similarity between some of the colors between the next color I'm going to be diving into. But all right, going over some of its commandments. Once again, this most of this info I got from a site, and I guess from a little bit from my observation. But one of its commandments is it shall lie in pursuit of good. So it's able to lie as long as it's for a good reason, as long as it's toward a good purpose, a good cause. It shall not murder. So where neutral, it possibly will, and lawful, it may be, depending on certain circumstances, it shall not murder. Like I said, it's kind of close to the vigilantism of certain superheroes, to where it'll beat them up real bad, but it won't it won't 100% kill them. It breaks laws in pursuit of good. So pretty much as long as it's in the pursuit of good, it'll break any law. Like I said, the rebel side. And it will avenge acts of evildoers and enemies of freedom. So not only does it go after people who do evil, but it also goes after people who happen to want to restrict the freedoms of others, or even a few people that it may know. And it shall not place duty above personal desire to do good. So basically, is like I stated before, it allows you to do whatever you feel as long as it's in the name of good, as long as it's actually in some cases good, versus lawful good, to where it places being good as being a duty, to where you have to serve, you have to follow the law along with doing what's good. What if it sins? What is it not against? What is it against? It is against failing to perform an act of kindness when appropriate. So it kind of hates when it can't it can't do something kind for somebody when it's the appropriate time. Fair enough. It One of his other sins is when it fails to pursue a new form of pleasure. So, like I said, this is the good side to where it's still the individual, whereas the lawful's kind of for the group, and where neutral kind of mostly looks out for itself. This one is more of the adventurer, but it still wants to be like, hey, I still want to look for good forms of pleasure, good forms of happiness for me, as long as it doesn't harm people. We should be okay. That's basically what it goes by. And it hates turning down a chance to trick, cheat, or harm evil for personal gain. Once again, it's the rebel side, it's the individual side. It wants to be like, I'm going to do this as long as I feel good afterwards. No, I'm not going to do it because law states it. No, I'm not going to do it because it's in my it's not 100%. It's not like it's still in my best interest, but I have to gain something from this. Like, besides doing this for the name of good, I have to do this because I think it feels good. I have to do this because I think I gain something from this. So that's mostly from the chaotic good. Um, Trying to think of any chaotic good characters besides rebels. I think Robin Hood fits uh this narrative very much. Robin Hood, pretty much steal from the rich, give to the needy. In a way, he's still doing good, but give to the needy. He's also probably classified as needy, so he's probably taking it for his own gain as well. He's probably doing it because he feels it is right. So Robin Hood fits that narrative. I think in a way, maybe, and I'm kind of diving into a lot of old school or medieval kind of feels. I think maybe the Guy Ritchie's adaptation of Arthur also has a little bit of chaotic good in him. I think he can definitely fit this role nicely. Like I said, in a way, especially with his upbringing, like he's definitely probably went into chaotic good, and then eventually went into lawful good as he became king. And that always kind of fits the bill. Can people change their alignments? And I always like to kind of stew on this question. I think mostly yes. And the reason why is I kind of speak from my experience. I feel from my kid side to adult side now. In the beginning, and I think everyone may have maybe a similar opinion, is that in the beginning, I think kids or me in general, I viewed myself as being a possibly neutral good. Like, I'm gonna do something good, but then I don't know the limits of what good is. We don't know what good really is. And in some cases it could be true neutral. Like, we're just a little bit of animals just doing whatever we please. In some cases. But as we grow, as we figure out some stuff, our shift in alignment kind of starts to tilt, whether it's going to be the good side, the bad side, and in some cases, even straight down the middle, still the neutral side. Um, One of the people that I've heard that talks about people being alignments, I think he talked about people in general is pretty much very firm in being lawful neutral. And to give a slight recap, not to spill too much beans with lawful neutral, but pretty much is like they follow not only a code, but mostly probably their own code of what they feel is right and wrong. Which there's nothing wrong with that, but it kind of teeters right in the middle. I believe that pretty much from my upbringing went from possibly true neutral to neutral good to now neutral good with a little bit of chaotic or lawful neutral, depending on what happens. Usually I'm in that side. Unless I get mad, then I might be, true neutral or lawful neutral in a way. But that's my take on it. If you like this, please like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think about these videos. Please, please, please. I'm trying to put out there as much as possible to get the geeky philosophy, the fictional motivation, and I'm just about, if you haven't noticed, I've also uploaded even some more workouts for the Beast Hunter Fitness program. So, with that being said, hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think. I'm your boy Quan, and as always, deuces.